Welcome to This is Baseball. I'm Brandon Johnson. We're here. We did it. World Series is set. New York Yankees, Los Angeles Dodgers. And you might be looking at this World Series and you either are really excited about it or you hate it. Man, Yankees and Dodgers, seriously, those are the two teams that we have to watch. Like, I know much of the country was rooting for the Mets and Guardians, or maybe not necessarily rooting for them, but actively rooting against the Yankees and Dodgers. But I look at it like this. I actually think this is going to be one of the most watched World Series in a long time. I think you have the Yankees, who are an obvious draw. They have the most championships in Major League Baseball history. They have 27. They're going to be going for number 28. And they have the best hitter in baseball right now in Aaron Judge. And the Dodgers, on the other hand, have Shohei Ohtani, who I've said it multiple times, by the time he's retiring, he will likely be the greatest baseball player ever. So you have that going for you. You have Shohei Ohtani, who draws numbers already, and now you have him in the World Series versus another superstar in Aaron Judge that I already mentioned. So I think this is going to be an absolutely incredible, fun, memorable, high-drama World Series between two powerhouse franchises that already have a lot of history. The Dodgers and Yankees have met 11 times already in the World Series, so this will be their 12th time matching up together. The Yankees have won 8 of those 11 matchups. The most recent matchup they had was in 1981 when the Dodgers won the World Series. So highly in the Yankees' favor in this matchup, and the Yankees are looking to make it 9. I think this is going to be one of the highest rated World Series we've had in a long time, just because of the star power that comes with it. Just from a global standpoint, like with Shohei Ohtani being on the Dodgers, Fox already had their best National League Championship ratings since 2019, largely due to Shohei Ohtani's presence. So now add the World Series to that is easily accessible to everybody. I think the ratings are going to be through the roof. But let's see how both of these teams got here. Let's look at their path through the playoffs. So Yankees had that first round bye, so they didn't have to play until the division round because they won the AL East and had the best record in the American League. They played the Kansas City Royals in the American League Division Series and beat them in 4 games, and then beat Cleveland in the ALCS. And I think what's interesting about the Yankees is we think of the Yankees and they've won 27 championships, and man, they're in the World Series all the time. This is the first time the Yankees have been to the World Series since 2009. So it's been 15 years since they've been here. They've been very close a lot of different times. I think they unfortunately, the Astros have gotten the best of them over the last 6-7 years. But yeah, wild that this is the first time the Yankees have been there since 2009. Now, let's look at the Dodgers. Dodgers' path to the playoffs, similar to the Yankees. They were the best team in the National League, so they had the first round bye and played the Padres in the division round, beat them, and then played the Mets in the championship series, obviously beat them as well, and are going to the World Series for the first time since 2020, where they won it all in the COVID-shortened season. This will be their fourth World Series appearance since 2017. They lost to the Astros in 2017 and lost to the Dodgers in 2018, beat the Rays in 2020, and now they're here looking to win another championship. So kind of looking at the matchups of the current teams and maybe who has the edge, who's stronger in one element of the game versus the other, I think that the Yankees have a better rotation. I think the 1-2 punch of Garrett Cole and Carlos Rodon is better than what the Dodgers have to offer. I think looking at the Dodgers, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, Jack Flaherty, Walker Buehler, can be good. We saw that in this postseason, but we also saw that there's some inconsistencies there. And you have a team in the Dodgers that will go and have bullpen games, which if you're having a bullpen game, it makes me feel like maybe you don't have as much confidence in your starters as the Yankees do. Now, we saw the Dodgers do 2 bullpen games in Game 2 in the NLCS and Game 6 in the NLCS. It didn't work in Game 2, but it worked just fine in Game 6. So it's kind of a coin flip, a big gamble on whether or not that's going to work. And since they've already done it multiple times in this postseason, you have to wonder if that workload is kind of catching up to the relievers. Now, fortunately for them, they're getting this extended time off between the end of the championship series and the World Series, but that'll be something to look at, is the rotation and just pitching staff in general. The Yankees bullpen was phenomenal for most of the postseason. Cleveland was kind of getting the better of them in the NLCS, but I like the Yankees pitching staff over the Dodgers. I think when you start to look at the lineups, though, that's when it gets really interesting, because the heroes in New York versus the heroes in LA were completely different. You had the ones that you expected to perform and come through in Giancarlo Stanton and Juan Soto hitting a huge home run to basically clinch the pennant for the Yankees. Stanton won ALCS MVP, but you expect those big names to come through when the Dodgers had guys like Tommy Edman and Kike Hernandez doing a lot of the heavy lifting. Tommy Edman, an LCS MVP, former Cardinal, shout out to him. So you had those kind of unexpected heroes for the Dodgers, and you still have players like kind of hobbled Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts, obviously Shohei Ohtani. I think that there's just more that the Dodgers have to offer. I didn't even mention Teoscar Hernandez. Max Muncy can help out. I just think 1 through 9, the Dodgers have more. I think if you look at the Yankees, you have Gleyber Torres, Juan Soto, Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton. And then after that, it's kind of like, okay. So if I'm looking at all of this and considering everything, I feel like this series, and I'm just really saying a lot right now, like it could go 7, but I could see sweeps happening as well. I think it's going to be 6 games, and I kind of think that the Dodgers are going to pull it out. I think if their starting pitching can perform similarly to how they did, if you can get a Jack Flaherty start like you did in the NLCS, and then if you do those bullpen games and you get the Game 6 result, and then you have the lineup, the timely hitting from everybody, I think that that's a good recipe for a World Series championship. But like I said, Garrett Cole, Carlos Rodon, a really strong bullpen, and then just honestly that the top half of the lineup can be really scary. Giancarlo Stanton has been all-world this postseason. Does he continue to do that? Aaron Judge picked it up a little bit. If Aaron Judge becomes regular season Aaron Judge, then watch out. The Dodgers are in trouble. But I like the Dodgers. I think Shohei Ohtani winning a World Series would be incredibly fun. I kind of previewed the Dodgers at the beginning of the season, and, where are they as a franchise and what do we expect out of the Shohei Ohtani era Dodgers? And I felt like they don't need to win a World Series now, but I think they need to win 2, 3, 4 World Series championships, if not more, in his time, because they've had so many deep playoff runs over the past decade plus that have ended in heartbreak that I think you have a team now that should be winning championships, and I think that the Dodgers are going to win this championship. But I think this, all that being said, I think this is going to be a super fun series. I don't really have a dog in the race. I don't care either way. But you have the two best records in the league. You have two teams that are top 5 payroll teams, so they've clearly invested a lot of money into their rosters to get to this point, and now this is the time that you want that to pay off. So I will be back next week in the middle of the World Series. Hopefully it's not over by the time I get to next week's episode, but either way, I will see you then to either discuss the results of the World Series or just talk about what's going on in the middle of it. But I'll see you next week.